Paul, first of all then, James McAtee, how pleased are you to get that over the line?
Yeah, pleased. He's someone who we've known all about for a long time, and we made sure that the relevant people know of his interest, but James was focused on trying to get in the Man City squad for this season, you know, being one of their 25, and went away with him pre-season. So yeah, so long as people knew of our interest, we wanted to make sure we had a chance if he became available, and he did. We spoke. James and his representatives did a lot of homework on the clubs who were all interested, and obviously we do our homework on the player, and yeah, we were a club we wanted to come to, and we obviously wanted him.
What do you think got the deal over the line then?
I think when he came here and spoke to us was the deciding thing. I think he'd heard positive things about us, but you know, we were up against some stiff competition. You know, higher up in the league, Premier League clubs away from big teams abroad, things like that. But when he came here, he liked what he heard, and yeah, wanted to come.
And what is it about this player that's meant that you've waited and kept your hand in the race?
Yeah, because you pretend. I mean, you only have to listen how highly Man City rate him to know that he's someone who they see huge potential. So we know he's got quality. We know he can handle the ball really well, and when you watch him play, he's got that calmness and that quality in the final third, which is what we really like. And so we hope we can see that and get that. But likewise, I'd flip it, and I also spoke to him and was really honest about him about the challenge here, the challenge of the Championship, the challenges of our club and expectation and things like that. And yeah, so I see it as a big opportunity for James as well. And even if we get that right, he thrives on the opportunity, then he'll be a big player.
I think that narrative about James only really adds to the intrigue, the fact that he was at least in consideration to be part of Man City's 25-man Premier League squad. With that and the types of players that his style of play has been compared to, you know, like Silva and what have you, brings with that quite the degree of expectation too as well. Yeah,
but we're talking potential, so this is one of the things I spoke about with James. So at Man City, is a player with huge potential, one they've got high hopes for. He's not that here. He has to come and impact the Championship, one of the toughest leagues in the world for lots of different reasons. Get game time, competing against real good players in our squad, and then also impact games when you've got other real good players in the Championship doing all they can to stop him. You know, he's not part of a Man City team with 70% possession and, you know, a way of playing where he can just flit in and be that potential. If he wants and we want him to have the impact in this league, he's got to be more than that bit part potential player. And I think that's why he wanted to come here to try and be that player and have more of an impact. And we can see the quality there. We know the quality's there. But as I say, I think it's a big opportunity for him and one he wanted to take on.
How do you see him ultimately fitting into the team then and into the picture?
I think we get the best out of him if we get him on the ball higher up the pitch. We get us at our best when we have good possession and move the ball quick. We do have a lot of movement ahead of the ball, and it'll be about getting him on the ball in those types of positions. And then if we can do that, I think that's where he has got the quality and the calmness to produce.
Fans will wonder if his arrival might mean that Sander Berge, someone who's operated for higher up the pitch, then might then be moving on, or as a consequence of that.
No, not at all. The different players, we expect more than Sander just to be one of the boys high up the pitch. All round midfield, and likewise, we moved Sander higher up and asked a lot more of him higher up last season, in conjunction with, or in combination, if you like, with Illy and Morgan, because of where we found ourselves with players. So we had to try and produce chances and performances in a different way. We wanted James in to add more dimension, more options there. So whichever players are on the pitch, you know, we've still got the changes from the bench, and it's constant quality.
Is he up to speed, fitness-wise? If you wanted to select him on Saturday
he's available
for a role,
yeah. He's been training all pre-season, but he's not had any minutes. He's had 20 minutes of football over the time that he's been away with City. So yeah, he'll get fitter and he'll get stronger as we train. Yeah, and he'll get up to speed. But I'd love to expose him to the Championship as quick as possible, because it'll be an eye-opener for him. But he's chomping at the bit. You know, he said he wanted to go on loan last year, but was sort of talked round, and it'd be better for him to stay in. And so he's been eager to get out and play for a long time. So he's looking forward to it.
Says a bit about him, doesn't it? Because having spoken to managers in the past who got irritated to the point because young kids didn't want to leave the kind of comfortable environment of a Premier League academy, those that did want to get out early on in their careers just earned that little bit more respect, if you like, from players, or managers rather, who were making their way.
Yeah, I think so. And listen, everyone wants it to go well, but I don't think he can lose off this, because it'll be a real eye-opener. We obviously want it to go well for us from our selfish point of view, but I do think it's a good loan for James, because I know how hard we'll work and how hard he'll be pushed. And it's a totally different environment in a real tough competitive league. So if he comes and performs here, then he's like I say, he's done himself no harm, and he's probably answering a lot of questions that people are asking about him already. But in terms of just the experience and exposure, he'll benefit from it.
Well, I suppose in the fast-moving world, next, what else are you looking at to try and bring in?
No, there'll be nothing. We spoke. We've been really clear with the board and internally ourselves, so we know we'd love to do more, but we have to be realistic. You know, like I say, I know what resources we've got, and at the minute, yeah, we're done. We're happy. We're ready to go. We just want the players back fit, get everyone back on the pitch, get everyone competing, and like I say, we need that. I keep saying about the schedule we've got and we find ourselves in. Yeah. We need that, and so my priority now is getting the other boys back on the pitch.
So it would only be a replacement for somebody who left, and at the minute no one's leaving. That type of scenario.
Yeah. So we're happy. We're ready now, and it's getting everyone up to speed. Like the boys who's been injured pre-season, we need them back. The boys who's found themselves injured recently, and then the boys who've come in late. So it's just a case of now getting everyone up to speed and contributing.
Well, on that then, so yeah, following on from the other night, Doyle and Stevens, how are they?
Yeah, Ender's done his calf. We're not sure yet. Well, I've not had the report back on the extent of it. Tommy and Bash are back on the grass. Didn't train with us today, but we'll have them back. So Bash probably fit and available before Tommy, which is good. That's what I'm after. Tommy will be a little bit longer because he's missed the games, whereas Bash is ready to go. So that'll be good to have him involved tomorrow. Who else? We've got Ollie Max back training. Sharpie's back training, had another week. Jaden Bogle's running on the grass now, like I say, so he's in a good place. Yeah, so bit by bit, like I say, we want him back. So
Basham, is he a potential for the weekend then?
Yeah.
And Doyle maybe for, I don't know, without sort of pushing...
No, Tommy's missed the games as well, so we need to... Will he be fit? When he's fit and available to train, we'll train, but then we need to get him up to speed, because like I say, he's, you know, we frustrated the fact that he was just getting fit, sharp and settling in, you know, whether that's mixing with the boys, adjusting to how we train and his hard work and everything, and he's ended up missing a big part pre-season, so we'll get him up to speed as quick as we can.
You mentioned Sharp there, but to sort of add Brewster and Cadra to that, they've also obviously continued their training this week. How close are all three of them to being in a fitness position to maybe start a game? Yeah,
listen, I'd consider them to start, but I wouldn't be considering to finish or expecting, because it's like I said to him, we want performances, so it's no point coming on the pitch and saving yourself thinking you've got to do 90 minutes. We want impact, we want performance, so whether that's 45 from the first minute, 60 minutes, you know, coming on for 45, coming on for 30, you know, so they're fit and available to do that. So it's bringing that into, so they impact the game. So they're ready. Like I said, Rian's been training a lot now pre-season, more and more minutes, more and more training days. Reader's been training, but not to our level, but he's had no injuries. And Bill, as I said, now has had his second week under his belt.
So Millwall then next. What improvements do you want to see from Monday?
Yeah, I want the same application and effort from the players. I want us to be better with the ball. I know we had things thrown on us, which we can understand, but still, we want to be good with the ball all the time, regardless who we've got on the pitch. So we want to be good with the ball, and then we want to stand up to whatever Millwall throwers. You know, they were really impressive against Stoke. I thought they were dominant, not necessarily in terms of possession and how they kept the ball, but I thought they were dominant in winning duels. The set plays were very good. The work off the ball was excellent. So I thought they put in a real good display against Stoke. So we know we have to be up for it. We have to be ready to compete with that. We have to be ready to deal with any frustrations that may set in, because like I say, they looked very, very good without the ball.
And maybe a sort of kick to touch, a little hoodoo which has developed over the course of the past couple of seasons against Millwall and getting one over on them.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm never a big believer in that, but I think what you have to respect is, like I said, the performances that they put in and the threat that they pose. Obviously, set plays being a big one. They could have had 4 goals from set plays against Stoke. They got 2. Their effort and the willingness to run without the ball turned 60-40s in Stoke's favour to 60-40s into Millwall's favour. You know, they were at it. They were impressive. So we know that they'll try and earn a point against us, 3 points against us. They'll be fighting and scrapping, and to keep you honest. So we know we're going to have to be at our best to have a chance.